So, you guys have been told to step away from the barricade and have done so. It does come to your guys' attention that the night is not so young. So, it depends on what you guys really want to do. You guys could attempt to force your way in. Obviously, the twins might be able to get around it since they've already obfuscated themselves. But who knows if you'll find a safe place to rest in this tower.
Let's regroup.
Yeah, I'm first going to walk a considerable distance away from the police because, well, I don't trust them to not be eavesdropping on me.
I'm assuming the rest follow.
Yeah, we'll follow.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Yeah, I'm going to emphasize the whole, we're running out of night light here. If we go in, we either have to finish the job before day comes, or we're gonna have an issue, because I don't think passing out on a random floor is a good idea.
Yeah, no more of that. No more rubble, no more old floors.
Pulling back and regrouping is probably our best option here.
And we have the old worm's nest.
Pulling back quietly. Let's not draw the police after us. I'm going to very, very quickly give a look at the two people that I don't trust to be quiet.
Who do you not trust?
I can be quiet when I need to be.
Okay, this is one of those times you need to be quiet then.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
It's the old game of who speaks first loses.
Maximus is just gonna walk off.
Concern about this, though.
Well, we need to sneak away. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and let's not take the car this time because that was too loud. Also, I'm not sure it even moves anymore.
Probably not. After what happened to it, looking over to the twins.
Bearing in mind, one of them is the driving seat of, at the moment, is completely ignorant to anything that's kind of gone on previously.
Right.
So, I have to ask then, out of game, how does your character deal with just, like, all of a sudden being in a different place? If they don't remember what your other person's doing.
So, fully aware that he... so, this particular persona is fully aware that he experiences blackouts and that waking up in a foreign environment is normal. So he's kind of
that was
synonymous with the fact that he is that particular bloodline that is given to towards mental illness. He just puts it down to basically blacking out, and then suddenly he's in a situation.
Okay.
Whereas the other side is much more aware of what's going on, and that he is very much a second personality to the first.
Okay.
I also have to ask the storyteller here, do we have time to walk back? Or am I flying back, and everyone else will find their way?
If you are if you keep a decent, what mortals would call a running pace, then you could probably make it back by the skin of your teeth. Flying is going to be much safer if you have...
Yeah, I don't like the odds of running. I'm going to... I'm just gonna be like, you're capable. You know where I'm going. You can either go back there with me, or you can find your own dirt hole to sleep in.
Sure.
And making sure I'm out of sight of people.
Perception check.
Where am I? I'm just gonna go to an alley.
Doesn't mean that some random dude's not gonna pop his head in. Okay. You find an alleyway that looks clear.
Unfortunate. Oh well. I am leaving. Good luck, lads.
You take off, and into the air you go. You're gonna get there fairly quickly, so the three of you, how exactly do you plan on getting back? As you watch
From
Marta...
from a very different perspective, I will look at potentially a car. Something a bit more clandestine than a Hummer with the parking brake on and screaming along in the first gear.
This area has been somewhat cleared. I mean, there is the option of the car that is currently through the side of the tower, but you would have to get past the barricade.
Hold on. I'm going to walk back towards the barricade.
Okay.
And say...
You still have face in the crowd activated, or...
I'm going to drop that for the sake of dealing directly with the police.
Okay.
And approaching him directly and saying, "Officer, I realized that we may have got off on something of the wrong foot. However, obviously, the way forward is closed off to us. We would very much appreciate you, or at least one of your associates, to give us at least a ride home. Seeing this out this side of the city seems to be inaccessible to us at this given time."
He pauses for a moment, and most of our units are currently dispatched trying to take care of other incidents that are going on in the city, such as... And off in the distance, you do hear what sounds like an explosion go off. And he kind of pauses his sentence when that explosion goes off, as if that kind of finishes his point.
I completely understand. However, what if we were to make it worth your while?
He doesn't really respond, but he does raise an eyebrow at you, as if for you to continue.
Oh, I appreciate that your immediate contingent and yourself would be going out of your way. We understand you are family men, and such things can be easily mitigated.
He seems a little irritated, and he just says, "Speak plainly for once."
Of course. Whoever delivers us to a location of our choice, we will make it well worth their while. We will offer them whatever they demand.
He kind of shrugs, and he leans into the walkie on his shoulder, and he says something. And within a few minutes, somebody that looks to be fresh-faced, probably no older than 20, 21, kind of goes, appears and goes, yes, sir, what can I do? And he kind of gestures towards you guys. And he turns his direction. How can I help you three?
Well, myself and the ladies present would like, well, the finest taxi service available to us. And at that point, take out a wad of cash, kind of flick through the notes.
He looks specifically down at Rose and he goes, well, I really don't want a kid out on the streets this late at night with all this stuff going on, so all right, my squad car is this way. And he leads you off to the side.
Yay, we get to ride in the police car.
Ladies, Istanbul's finest is at our disposal.
I'm a lady.
Gentlemen.
And indicate the officer to lead the way.
He takes you to his squad car. It's not past the barricade. It's kind of off to the side, and, you know, he opens up the back for you guys to sit in. Obviously, the smallest one should probably go in the center, usually.
Usually, but I want to see out the window.
Any room for a passenger up front, seeing as how we're paying for a potentially, what should we call it, taxi service?
He goes, all right, we're really not supposed to. I mean, courtesy transports are a thing. And you still ride in the back during a courtesy transport. You know what? Little girl, you can have the front seat.
Hey. What does this button do?
He quickly kind of goes, don't touch anything, and kind of swats your hand.
Suppress a growl.
Everybody else loaded up into the back?
Yep.
Open the door for Maximus. It's, I assure you, perfectly safe.
Really? Are we eye level? Is me and the twins eye level?
Yeah.
Just raises an eyebrow like, really, dude? And gets
Oblivious.
You bet. And hops on in.
Money gets you everywhere in this world. The sooner you realize that, the better. And sort of I will hand the officer in question a wad of cash to a charity of your choice.
He kind of nods, and once everybody is seated and buckled in, sorry.
Water.
I will. Sorry, while you're. I will knock off a dot of resources for that.
Oh, wow. Okay. That much. Okay.
That's a lot of money.
You
Yeah.
sure about that? It's
I want
just-
this guy on. I want this guy on side. Yes.
Once everybody is seated and buckled in, he begins to take off, and he goes, okay, so exactly where am I going? I need an address or something.
I will, give him directions back to the worm's nest.
He flicks on his siren just to try and clear a path, especially across the bridges. Is there anything?
I'm going to shake my head at a Humvee, which has just seemingly stopped in traffic.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is there still a burning little something still there?
The fire would have dissipated by now.
Okay.
Some are so desperate that they will sink to any level.
So, honestly, this drive is going to be rather uneventful. So, unless you guys have something specific, we will go ahead and have you guys arrive.
Only to bring this officer on side, like I say, offered him quite a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Give me
Can I change that for, so in Sanctity of Merits, can I change that for a dot of contacts?
Yeah. You can go ahead and have 1 dot of Istanbul Police Force.
Hey.
What's his name?
Allies or contacts?
Contacts.
Contacts, cool.
He's not gonna really have the pull for allies, since I did state he is a newbie on the force.
Yeah. Okay.
And to answer the name question, his name is Deniz. Deniz.
Okay. Thank you.
It's stated, though, the car ride is uneventful. You guys arrive... probably got maybe another 45 minutes to 30 minutes before the sun comes up and, you know, the world returns to that of the living.
Kind of close.
Marta, you're already there when you hear the police squad car arrive. What have you been up to?
I presume ghouls are here by now.
Yes, they've arrived. They've begun to start making some, like, minor patchwork. Like, they've been taking whatever wood they can actually scrap and start trying to fill in the hole that was created.
What have I been up to? I'm probably, if once, they have their orders of fix this place, we'll deal with things after the hole is fixed and this is more sunproofed. Gonna be sitting around trying to just read through all this research material to see if there's any useful information. Not that there is, it just gives me something to do.
Is there anything specific you're looking for in those notes?
I've got a lot of time. I'm just gonna read them.
All right, so if you're not looking for anything specific, I'm not going to call for any sort of rolls. You're just reading them. When you hear the squad car roll up.
Well, I'm putting my notes down and I'm going outside ready to dominate the police away because go away from me.
This stated, he looks young when you see him. He kind of walks over and he opens up the squad car door from the outside, both his passenger door and the back passenger door. And that's when you see your clutch members begin to file out of the vehicle.
I shall give them a disapproving "I told you to be quiet." Well, look, I'm not gonna alert the officer, but
As the
officer.
Go ahead.
Sorry. The officer is on side. Don't worry about that.
And he kind of, he leans into the officer leans into the twins and he goes, if you need anything else, just give me a call. And he hands you a card that has his direct line.
I appreciate it.
He gets back into his police car and takes off. Back the way he came.
That was fun. Everyone got out of the way when you turned the lights on.
Max was just gonna run inside and find a place to hide from the sun.
Oh, we
And
still got
also
plenty of time.
go underground. Do that little mole thing and just boop.
If there's
Is it-
dirt.
Yeah, there's no dirt in the building.
Or basement.
So is it Marisha? That's the
Marita?
Marita.
I don't know how to
Okay.
pronounce my character's name.
I've been calling her Marta.
Marta, Marita. I don't know.
I don't care.
Margarita.
Marita. Any problems can be easily resolved. One thing I've learned about this world is that money talks. Honestly, don't worry yourself.
I certainly
And
does.
hold up the card.
Rather not. I'd rather get established here before worming our way into local police, but
But that's how we get established.
I honestly don't think that Röslein can get established in that way. So I'm just gonna ignore that. It's just a child being a child.
With nothing else going on, this night comes to an end. And this is where we pick up the next night as you suffer that reverse heart attack that, honestly, even with your advanced blood potency and with that kind of comes a bit of age, still is one of the least pleasant things that you can ever remember having to deal with.
I take it nothing of any interest happened during the day. Not that it would.
Are you asking one of your ghouls?
I didn't sleep. I have Blush of Life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
My
mean,
you don't live this long by going to sleep. That's when you can get shanked.
so are you just spending all your time reading, or are you actually like watching the news?
I could flip. I'm probably just reading. I don't care about the news.
Yeah, then
Reading and giving people orders.
yeah, honestly, nothing happened all night. The patchwork has been made. It is sunproof to the best that they could do, you know, with what they had. The building is structurally sound. It'll stay on its feet while you guys use it as your base.
Yeah. And I guess the only other fancy thing would be telling my actual retainer ghoul to go out and start finding things we're gonna need. Start finding the connections.
All right. Where do you want me to start?
Well, we're gonna need to fix this building, reinforce it,
Construction workers. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
get us material that we can use to build.
Raw material or raw material and workers?
We've got workers. That's what the ghouls are for.
I'm sorry, but I would not really call most of these people skilled laborers.
Yeah, I took staffs. They've got crafts as their skill. I specifically got
Okay. He kind of shrugs and is like, okay.
We don't need skilled laborers when we have
It's-
time and the determination. We have the will.
If you need money,
I've got money.
However, what are the twins doing as they get up?
so it's as is so often the way. It's the chess master that's in control when they awake. Very much kind of objectively, again, kind of on side with Marita, that looking to secure this location and actually securing it. And if you need to pay for skilled laborers, he's good for it.
What about Maximus?
Maximus, after getting up, I'm gonna look for some animals. Any flying creatures, cats, dogs. Just a little feral whisper. I want to make a couple of familiars. There we go. And then go get something to eat after meeting up with the group.
Well, you woke up in the same place as the group.
Okay, well, immediately go out and get animals. I'll be back. It shouldn't take that long.
Honestly, the skies are pretty clear. Strix tend to do that to the skies. And this place isn't known for its dogs. It's known for its cats, though. There are lots of stray cats about.
Thankfully, I learned my lesson from last time and actually do have cat stuff going on, so I'll call some cats.
Feral Whispers requires our roll.
Yes. We go to roll, sorry. Animalism and why
You're
are
not
you
pregnant.
pinky?
I don't know, I keep having the urge to throw up.
Bite a lemon.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah, I had one beer in celebratory of the celebration of your news, and now suddenly the seal is broken. So,
All right. I mean, you're able to find several stray cats, you know, meandering about.
Okay, I'm gonna make one of them a familiar. Any others?
That requires. I know that requires at least 1 point of vitae.
Yes, vitae. I've been saying vitae for. How come
I
no
I
one's...
don't kill it, so you know.
Yeah, I do it too.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you have the devotion to ghoul it, you do have to kill it first.
What?
You have to kill it first.
Yeah, race of familiars for dead.
Corpses. There is a devotion that lets you directly ghoul.
Oh,
Living
feed one
animals.
vitae to the corpse. Okay, I missed that last part. I thought I just like give it out like Pokemon cards.
So you're gonna kill the kitty, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna pop his neck.
And actually, it specifically says the drained body. So in other words, you've got to drain the cat.
Oh,
Okay, I'll do that.
Does it?
With this power, though, the vampire can complete the process halfway by feeding a drained animal some of her vitae.
is that from Raise a Familiar or the?
Raise the
Oh,
familiar.
Yeah, it's the flavor text at the beginning.
Ah,
Yeah, so
Hmm.
you kill the cat and go ahead.
sorry. So bearing in mind that we discussed this during the week, killing a cat. How close are the twins to this?
Oh, yeah. Hi.
She
Hey.
Hi.
Yeah, she wandered away, so she would not be
Okay.
at the house for it.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
The twins.
Blow up my house, or we're gonna have problems.
No. The twins care more. Just put it this way: the twins care more about animals than they do about humans.
So you're able to drain a cat and then give it a point of your vitae. Do you also need to give it a point of willpower? Because I know that's how
No.
it works for regular ghouls.
does not say willpower.
Not for animals.
Not for animals, okay. And let's see.
No roll.
Yeah, blood potency plus animal stamina.
Times
Okay.
animal stamina.
Oh, times. Well, it's stamina's 1, so
Oh, okay, yeah. So just blood potency.
it would have actually been more.
Yeah.
All right. So you have a cat familiar.
Yes, this one I'm going to keep with me, and the others, I'm going to direct them back to the tower. I just really, because I can communicate with them. I just want to, I want them to see if there's any, if it's still blocked off with cops.
It'll
And
take them a
report-
while to get over that direction, but they
Okay.
begin heading over that direction.
And I'm gonna take the one I just made my familiar back with me to the house. He's just gonna be perched up on my shoulder.
Rose.
Rose, she's taken off her clothes and she's patching pre-vampire holes in her body. So she had a rather violent pre-embrace. So those holes are still there. So she's patching them. She's wrapping a bandage around her neck. There's a few other holes that she's putting patches on before she finishes getting dressed for the night. Does some stretches, make sure she's still limber. That'll probably take, I don't know, an hour to do all that.
Well, by that time, Maximus has definitely returned, and it now becomes up to this clutch what they want to do next.
Can I basically preempt any kind of enemy movement?
What exactly are you... Since there's like no enemy right now, that's why I don't know exactly what to say on that one.
I will turn this over to the group of, do we want to side of looking at the Carthians and the Invictus, which one is more likely to be a thorn in the proverbial side?
Invictus.
The Invictus are more organized and as such are more threatening, but if they are knocked out of power, they will scurry and run away. The Carthians will be a thorn in our side until they are wiped out, even though it might not be a very sharp thorn. That is the way I see it, and it's been my experience.
Your experience is noted and well observed. Maximus.
Oh,
Röslein.
agreeing with all of this, to be honest. We have to get rid of Invictus. Speaking of which, I forgot his name. Gandhi. Sorry, what's her name?
Röslein.
Röslein.
I'm Röslein.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Like Marta, whatever, however you want to say it. I don't
Marta.
care. I don't know that she cares about her name at this point anymore. It's too many years.
Marita, when you were in the skies, did anything seem odd to you while we were gone?
Are Strix considered odd to you?
Dangerous, as he gives a stern look. Very, very dangerous.
Are they though? What do they do? They're just flying around.
They don't just fly. They
Yeah, sometimes
have
they
a purpose.
They perch.
Stop that.
By the way, on that note, actually give me a perception check, and I do need to ask a quick question to Maximus. Did Maximus shut the front door when he came in?
Yeah, you close doors to the house all the time.
And who's the perception for?
Everybody.
Okay.
Oh. No.
4 dice, 4 successes. Here we go, lads.
3 successes. There's Strix in here, isn't there?
Please, no. 1 sec. Wow, I get 2?
That's enough.
Everybody succeeds. You do begin to hear tapping on what sounds like an upstairs window. It almost, especially, let's see, Marta, the twins, and Rose. You guys definitely can sound like it, or can hear it sounds like a beak against glass. Max, it just kind of sounds like tapping to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to barricade that one.
Reminds me of Edgar Allan Poe.
Who?
A well-read child.
Sometimes I had a lot of time.
I'm gonna go outside around to that window.
Please.
I follow.
I'll go up from the inside.
Shall I do the talking?
I've spoken to them once before. Shouldn't be a matter of doing it again.
Making more friends now.
The twins, are you going out or are you following Rose up?
So going with Rose up the stairs, yeah.
Well, as you guys reach the outside and round the corner, you guys are able to make it upstairs. You see what appears to be an owl that is roughly maybe 4, almost 5 feet tall. As it kind of stands on the window, completely made of black materialized smoke. And it kind of turns its head the 360 degrees and looks down at the ground at both Max and Marta. Before kind of fluttering and landing in front of you.
It went down. I want to go down and look at it.
It is odd because you've never seen an owl stand on the ground and look you straight in the eye before. That's how tall this owl is.
He said 5 foot. I'm 5'2" in real life, alright? I ain't liking this. No animal should be my eye level. No. Ever.
Röslein is probably barely 4 feet.
So putting a hand on Rosalind's shoulder and therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth than I dreamt of in your philosophy.
I know some of those words, but I'm gonna go see the smoky owl.
As it lands, I'm just gonna, I apologize for my compatriots' burning of the staked vampire. They are difficult to control at times.
It speaks directly into your mind, so nobody else can hear it as it kind of goes. We wouldn't know whether or not you set fire to a body. So many bodies were set fire to last night. It was glorious. Now, I was told a deal had been struck, so I am here to pass along a little bit of information. We have eyes in the sky. There are certain things that have happened in the city since last night that if you weren't looking for them, you may not necessarily be aware, especially this early on. We have rumblings from a little bit further north on this side of the river that something not unlike yourself has popped up, something that wants nothing but blood and carnage, and is making quite a lovely mess of the area. I don't know if that's something that you guys would want to pursue, but there's that. Also, there are numerous helicopters in the city. I'm not aware of why helicopters would be arriving here, but it's something if you wish to look into, you may do so. I don't know if it's of any worth. It kind of fluffs its smoky feathers out and kind of gives Max a deadpan glare.
I meet him. Same eye tension, but slightly relaxed, looking towards Marita, whatever.
Marta!
I'll get
I think
it
it's
right.
more fun if I just don't actually give them a solid pronunciation, because then everybody struggles.
I've made my decision. I'm dying on this hill.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna give the Strix a nod, and I appreciate the information. We'll work to maintain our end of this deal as opportunities present themselves.
Information? It gave you information? I didn't hear anything.
It did, yes. There is likely a new Draugr running around. Not one of our brood, apparently. Although it probably would seem like it from the amount of blood that is allegedly being shed. And it looks like the local authorities have called in helicopters, probably. For what reason, unknown. But
Looking for something?
they could be here to put out fires. They could be evacuating important people. They could be bringing any people in. Unknown.
Who knows?
But
No
it is
noise,
a factor
but-
that we'll have to consider when operating here.
This
Noise but owls and wolves curdling blood and cries.
Strix fluffs its feathers one last time and then spreads its wing and takes off.
Bye-bye.
I just calmly pet my little familiar. I named it her Sprinkle. Just out of stress, I just start petting her. Eek.
Does her Sprinkle have a collar?
No, I just went to an alley and got a cat.
Oh.
Oh, Marita. New friends of yours, huh? They're giving you deals?
Spoke briefly. They want vampire corpses, and I am not too concerned about whether or not they get them or not.
It was the owl that shrieked. The fatal bellman, I believe, is the wording.
If I knew more Edgar Allan Poe, I'd say, are you just quoting Edgar Allan Poe now? But I don't actually know. It sounds like you could be.
Oh, the bars, I assure you.
So, should we go get this rambunctious puppy? Could be useful.
Show him the ropes.
Or put him down if he doesn't obey.
Why put him down? He sounds like fun.
Potentially.
So, do I know whether or not you can just kind of like recruit Draugr immediately? Like, is that something the brood, like, can the brood just kind of walk up to a Draugr and just kind of communicate with it? Or
I think that's
How
a
does-
boss level,
how
like,
does that actually work?
It is more of a process.
Because my initial thought is maybe we shouldn't run up to a rampaging new Draugr that doesn't know what's going on yet.
Yeah,
That sounds like a bad idea.
probably.
okay, so we have one side quest, main quest. What do you guys want to do? Go back or circle around our new territory?
Well, everyone was so insistent on murdering the Invictus leader. But I am more than content to simply sit here and spin a nest.
Can I make a roll, basically to engage you, Storyteller, of what's kind of a viable option here?
Is this the common sense merit? Like, wait, hold on.
It's essentially I'm playing motives of narrative.
Well, I know this metagaming because my character doesn't know it, but starve the beast, make him come out of his hole.
Starve the beast?
Well, if you take away the food source, then the vampire's gotta come out, do something.
So what do you want to do to the town?
The town? Nothing really to the town, but to the warehouses. If they're storing cattle for food, if we take away their food, then they're gonna be starving and they gotta get panicky.
Yeah, that could be fun.
There's no shortage of humans, though, so I
Yeah.
mean.
Still
But
messing
it's-
with something of theirs as Invictus.
But, yeah,
that's
no, Lucius
disrespectful.
would probably need kindred vitae. He's probably. Oh no, would he just woke up out of torpor? Surely his blood potency is pretty low. I don't know.
Surely. My vote is warehouse. Either way, I'm still gonna go off and hunt because I do want to get some stuff back.
You would have to hunt another vampire. You can't hunt humans.
Right.
Which brings up the warehouse conundrum again.
Someone not sharing info.
Yeah, exactly. Marta's being really stubborn
Yes.
here.
I've just been metagaming it.
Realistically, do I care about the warehouses? No. I have a herd of ghouls that I can feed from because of.
Realistically, you care about your clutch.
Yeah, but do I?
Apparently not.
Make a decision, or I'm
Alright.
throwing another quote out.
No, I will acknowledge the fact that they probably don't want blood bonds from me by feeding from the ghouls, so we're gonna have to fix that issue if I want them to keep playing guard dogs. Did the Strix tell me that there was a warehouse full of revenants? I don't remember them telling me that.
Oh well, hold on. We've got to wait for Jack.
Held his finger up like he was about to do something, so.
Well, I'm gonna go do something during this time too.
Dabadoos.
No,
Give birth.
the other one.
Gonna drop a pea.
Is he gonna puke? He's talking about puking.
Yeah, I don't remember if the Strix said there was a kindred warehouse, other than there was a special one that one of the Strix died at.
I mentioned revenants.
Did he?
Yeah.
I remember, yes, there was one that where their strict friend died at, and then there was another one. I thought the other one was something interesting in something. It had something interesting.
Well, that was the interesting one.
Okay.
Because the others are just human.
These Strix are pretty big, man. 5 feet.
Ooh.
Normally they're like-
Materialize, they get pretty big.
Normally they're like size 2, aren't they?
Yeah, the older they get.
If you had to put some kind of numerical value on their size.
They are also made of smoke. I'm pretty sure they
Yeah.
kind of pick how big they
They could just puff themselves up.
Alright, but legit though, what are we going to do? Since, yes, we don't have that information, what are we going to do?
All right, I'm back.
Well, no, I'm going to tell you that, they're... Because allegedly they did tell me there were evidence there.
All right.
Allegedly.
And do we know the relationship between the Revenants and Invictus, or?
You would know that the warehouses are on the Invictus side, so
Yeah, there were warehouses of feeding stock, and I shall propose a course of action here that is not entirely just me metagaming. But yeah, so the Invictus are the bigger threat, I feel. And I think it's worth sowing more chaos over there. I was informed by our smoky friends here of how they've been feeding these days. They have, well, captives. We remove the captives, and all of a sudden, now they are not quite as secure. They'll get jumpy and perhaps throw caution to the wind.
I believe the expression goes, I cannot move heaven, therefore I shall raise hell.
This could be fun.
Does
This
sound
reminds me
fun.
of how Rome fell. It's sounding too familiar.
And you should be really good at this.
Yeah, the owls did mention how fun that night was.
Yes, but it was for them. Looking up to the sky, irritated. Just petting my little kitty.
There's
That's
several
fun.
Strix that soar by.
I eye them.
Either way, perhaps it is already in chaos, but the night is young. There is plenty of discontent to sow on the Invictus side. Wherever the carnage goes, I'm sure we shall follow.
Alright, sounds like we have a game plan.
Yeah, take away their food.
Why not, indeed?
So, Marta, are you just going to take flight and head that direction, or?
Doing that a lot, I feel like. Yeah, no, I'm gonna. You're all competent. You can find your way, and please no more police this time. I said be quiet, and you just roll up in a police car.
What better way than to hide in plain sight?
True.
Can I try and call a taxi? Is that a viable option when half the city's on fire? But
Probably not the most viable of options.
I'm actually gonna take flight with Marguerite this time. I'm gonna shift into a hawk. That's one of my little animals.
The twins
Well-
don't have a way to go fast, to fly, or anything?
Oh,
not have hands, no.
Does Rose have another way of moving fast?
I mean, yeah, she could turn into an owl.
twins.
I was just
Go.
wondering about, leaving one behind.
You go ahead. I will find you in due course.
Did Marta say where it was?
No. As
I
usual.
don't think I was
just
told.
keep sight. They pointed in a direction out of game. They pointed in a direction, so you should know, or at least have an idea.
I'll follow the course to the best of my
Warehouses. How many
ability.
are there? Come on, we're flying.
Okay. Well, the Rose will turn into an owl and whoo away.
And who? You're just gonna.
No, honestly, for the twins, it's going to be a little bit difficult to follow them. Obviously, they're flying through the sky. Give me a perception check here.
Owls are naturally stealthy.
Oh,
Yes,
you
but
And I'm
son.
leaving my cat
Wings
here.
is not.
Huh? Well, yeah, owls have special feathers that makes them fly silently.
Have I signed out? Sorry, have I signed out of the game?
You are not in the game.
That's really weird. No, sorry about that.
That's fine. While I wait for that perception check, as you three fly throughout the sky, you do notice one warehouse relatively close to the river. You guys, whenever you guys see a warehouse, you guys kind of get a little bit closer to see if you can feel any predatory auras, because that is your standard fare, so to speak. This one that is close to the strait, however, you can feel multiple predatory auras. So, we're talking roughly 5 to 10. It's hard to tell with them being so clustered together.
With my hawk eyes, can I... Well, no one's outside. Right, it's just inside the warehouse.
Well, that and also Hawkeyes, I'm not sure of how their low light vision is. They're diurnal animals, not nocturnal.
Owls, though.
Yes, ow.
Ew.
Vampire, though.
Yeah, vampire.
I'm no stupid bird.
Sensors, yo, 360-degree vision. I
With
just realized I have that.
you're able, with 2 perception, you're able to make your way across the bridge and find your way, but you're gonna arrive a little bit to the scene later. You know, flying has its advantages.
Let them deal with it.
Now, it does look like, as you guys kind of get a little bit closer, that there seem to be 2 kindred on guard outside. However, by the same token that you can feel them, they can feel you, and you can notice that they start to shift uncomfortably as they begin, you know, heightened alert. They're looking around, they are actively cautious.
And
They can't talk to me, so I can't really plan here.
you could talk to us?
Yeah, I
assume?
can talk to you. Well, they know we're here. Do you want to actually plan here, or are you just gonna swoop down there and start killing? If they're not swooping down immediately, I'm gonna assume they probably want to plan.
Yeah. Tempting.
Does Rose want to give it a dice roll?
Yes. So one is kill, 2 is plan. One is kill.
Nice.
With
So
that, with that, Marta, you see Rose dive straight for the ground, and I'm assuming you shift out of Owl.
well, she was gonna swoop to the roof above the 2 vampires and then shift.
All right.
Expected, but you know, in character, entirely expected. But disappointing nonetheless.
Now, Rose, since you're on top of the roof, what are you going to do?
How high up is the roof? Is it like a large warehouse?
Roughly, I believe it was 2 floors. So,
It's not too bad.
yeah, it's not horrific, but, you know. A lot can go wrong in that floor.
Yeah. They are... The 2 vampires are outside front door, I assume? Big warehouse door?
Also, as you give me... no perception check. You're able to notice the large blood smear that seems to be a couple of days old out in the middle in front of the warehouse.
Ooh. Can I smell it from here?
It's a couple of days old,
Okay.
and it's soaked into the ground.
So not from here. I just see.
Yeah, you can see what looks to be a old wound, so to speak.
Alrighty. So, let me pull that up. After doing some quick stretches, if no one else is coming down for some fun, she's gonna start by herself.
Come on, that's not fair.
Okay, how does
Swoop
starting...
down, I can't stop you.
We fly at the same speed.
Yeah, like I expected both of you, honestly, to leave me floating in the air.
I want to try to plan things, but now I'm just getting jealous.
You can still plan, but Rose is gonna go first.
So what is Rose doing as these two plan?
Now, I still can't speak to them, so I'm just going to say, let's not land directly on top. I'm going to just perhaps the edge of the parking lot.
Okay. Rose?
Well, it was Rose remembers that they wanted bodies, so she's gonna try and hold back.
Just a little.
Just a little. She's gonna activate her protean stuff, the animal things and the claws.
Yay!
Her claws do horrid talons, 2 lethal damage even to vampires.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not getting her entire dice pool.
So,
Is
is
she...
that the second version of claws?
Yes.
They automatically go aggravated.
Not
Claws
only
the Unholy can't be turned off.
if I'm in frenzy. I haven't frenzied.
Oh yeah, no, they're
This
frenzy
isn't
only.
Quasi Unholy. This is something else.
This is horrid talons.
I forgot it was a frenzy only thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, are you frenzying?
Not yet.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Vampire the Requiem 2nd Edition Bloody Waters, part of the Domain Gaming's Contagion Anthology. Written and told by Wyverian. A special thanks to you, the listener. If you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. And as always, comments are welcomed. Until the next chapter, how will you satisfy that thirst? And with